1% can make all the difference. I never really understood this up until quite recently. I always thought that as long as you were making progress, as long as you were getting at it, it didn't really matter how well necessarily you were doing, but as long as you kept going. And that is the right mindset to have in the beginning. When you start your fitness journey or your self improvement journey, as long as you start doing the steps and take the steps forward, that's 100% okay. But as you get further along into this and you start to understand, like, okay, I go to the gym 5 times a week. Maybe I can go 6 times a week. Maybe I can go 7 times a week. Or with your diet, you're like, okay, yeah, I have a sweet every now and then, or I have a cheat meal every now and then. You don't really follow everything to the T 100% or push to 100%. And, I was thinking about it. The importance of 1% is actually quite monumental when you think about it. And the reason it's monumental is because of the compounding factor of time. When you add time into any equation, it can drastically change any outcome. And the way I think about it is it's like a ship or planes. When a ship heads off to sail to a direction, if the ship is 1 degree off, literally 1 degree off, it will land in a completely different destination than where it was intended to go. And that's 1 degree. So this is what I think the importance of 1% is. If you can hit the marker of getting your day 100%, meaning your diet is dialed in, your training is dialed in, and your work is dialed in, and you hit those markers every day, over the next 6 months, things will drastically change. And the problem with hitting 99% every day, or even 98 or whatever, is one, it becomes a habit. You're like, oh, it's fine. I'll have this, and then yeah, that'll be my sweet or something, or your cheat meal of the week or something, whatever. The problem is it becomes a habit. You're like, oh yeah, no, it's my cheat week now, it's my cheat day, whatever. So you get used to slacking and it becomes a habit. The thing is, most people the high performers are performing at 100% all the time. Thing about this journey is you have to realize you're no longer playing with the people who you started out with. And what I mean by that is before you got into this journey, before you started taking self-improvement seriously, yeah, you didn't go to the gym, you watched TV, you went out and partied. Now you don't do any of those things, but that's just the baseline. That doesn't even get your foot in the door. You can go to the door, but that doesn't get your foot in the door. You then have to really dial it in to then get to the top. You can be okay, you can be, I'd say, an average top tier man, or you can be a top tier man. Like people like Andrew Tate, Hamza Ahmed, Iman Ghazi, all these guys, Jack Hopkins, all I can go on. But those guys are hitting 100% markers every day consistently. Now, obviously, they have their own things and they've made it to the top, so they don't have to be 100% all the time, but they still are. They hit it most of the time. And on their way up, they were always hitting it. Now, this goes back to the first point I spoke about showing up every day. It is a process in the beginning. You have to show up, make sure you're there. That is important. And same with this, when you're trying to hit 100% every day, you may not hit it in the beginning, but you will eventually hit it. But you have to strive to hit the 100% marker, to know there's going to be a day where you don't eat junk food at all for months at a time. You don't drink cool drink for months at a time. You just, like, in your mind, in the back of your mind, and in your whole being, okay, I have no intention of doing this at all. However, if it does happen in the future, as long as you know when you make the intention to not do it again, you wholeheartedly had the intention of not doing it again at all. If it happens, it happens. But then you just get back up and you go again. The other thing is, people may say, like, you might burn out and stuff, and that is true. You may burn out, and it's because you're not used to hitting these kinds of levels before. But like anything, you can train. I remember when I first started my fitness journey, I would like I would train. Training was something that I never really stopped. Training was fun. It is fun. However, diet was my main issue. And so with me, I would like eat really well every day, but I'd follow my diet plan, but I'd have like sweets or cool drink or something every now and then. Then it got better to the point where I was able to follow my diet properly, but then sometimes I'd fall off. And what would happen is maybe I'd follow it for a week and then I'd fall off for like a week. And eventually it got to a point now where it's like I may follow my diet for a week and then maybe I'll have like a single cheat meal and the next day it's like back on for a week. So the downtime of you like falling off or you cheating over time, as long as you don't give up and consistently like make progress, it will shrink to the point where you'll go for 6 months at a time where you don't touch a single can of Coke, a single cheat meal, nothing. I know people personally who've done that. Like for 6 months, they just in the gym, diet dialed in, training dialed in, everything was dialed in, and they made a huge amount of progress because they were hitting 100% every day. So my message to you today is aim for 100% of the day. Get everything right. Get your diet right. Get your fitness right. Get your work right. Do all the work you need to do. And you'll make a lot more progress in 6 months than someone who's hitting 90% or 80%.